right? Which one? Which one? Which game I get right?
My Bucks, who are actually your Bucks, because they're also your Super Bowl pick, lost, just as you predicted.
No, but I also predicted they were not going 20-0. Oh. I predicted that. And I told you
that was going way out on the limb for you, right?
But who did I pick to be the first team to get them? Over there in SoFi. And the stars came out, Skip. You saw the stars.
They did come out.
LeBron was there.
Oh, go.
LeBron was there.
Dr. Dre.
Phony goat was there.
You a hater.
Not miss that kind of action. Oh, and by the way, guys, that crazy ending between Green Bay and San Francisco last night, we're also going to preview the Cowboys game, but since all the stars came to L.A. to watch that one, let's start with that game right here. Tom Brady and the Bucs flew to Hollywood to take on the Rams in a battle of two NFC heavyweights. Brady couldn't get into a rhythm until the game was out of reach, while Matthew Stafford was the star of the show as he threw 4 touchdowns in L.A.'s 34-24 win. So, Shannon, I know you're happy about that one. What was the biggest reason the Rams won?
Stafford being sensational. Skip, there's been very few times that a team has beaten Tom Brady in which the quarterback has not outplayed Tom Brady. And if you want to stand toe-to-toe with a gunslinger, you got to look him in his eye and perform just as well as he did. Wow. And he did that. The Rams ran 40 plays, and in those 40 plays, they had 4 touchdowns. They started out shaky. He had D-Jack early, Skip, and he underestimated D-Jack's speed. That's not Slayton. That's not Galladay. That's not Marvin Jackson Sr. And even at his age of 34, D-Jack is still the best deep threat in football. He still can run, Skip, even at his age. And I told you, I say, Skip, they haven't been using D-Jack. I'm looking, they're going to get a shot or 2 there. And if you have DeSean Jackson on your team, if you're not going to give him at least 2 deep balls a game, I don't really know why you have him on your team. So they gave him that opportunity. Started out, he was a little shaky. He missed him. Had Cooper Kupp on a corner route. He missed him, threw it behind him. Kupp normally catch those, but Stafford could have gave him a better ball. But once they got in sync and once they got rolling, it was boom, 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 boom. 6 straight possessions, 6 straight scores. 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals, really put the ball game out of reach. Now, I don't really know anything about it. I know you read about the TB12 method, but I'm thinking, and from the nutritional standpoint, they want you to eat wholesome foods. They don't want you to get empty calories. They want you to eat avocado, good solid fat, salmon, good solid fat, nice carbohydrates, a nice complex carbohydrate, nice solid proteins. What are all these empty calories? He had to eat Twinkies on a Sunday. Because here's what happened, Jen. I don't know if you noticed this. Empty calories.
Why don't you just tell me? You don't have to tell her.
No, I'm going to tell the audience. Let me tell I was told the audience. I want to tell you here. You can hear me.
I'm right here. I'm listening.
People at home. Tom Brady, he had 260 yards passing when they were down by at least 14 points. He had 177 yards when trailing by at least 17 points. Now, I know a situation where if it had been LeBron James, why is he in the ball game? Because he's chasing Kareem.
Wait a second. Why are we even discussing the phony goat when we're talking about the goat?
Because this is what you do all the time when you're trying to make your point. I'm trying to make my point. Why the hell was Tom Brady in the game down 17 with 3 minutes? Because he's trying to get the MVP. The same reason they only had 13 carries in the ball game when you got Rojo, you got Leonard Fournette. You talk about playoff Lenny, Rojo. You're trying to get your guy the MVP. And he played right into the hands because Matthew Stafford outplayed him yesterday. There's no way around it.
Who was the leading rusher for the Buccaneers? Who was he?
Hello, Skip.
Wait, it was Tom Brady. Maybe that's the MVP. He can run it as well as he can throw it.
He did not outplay Matthew Stafford yesterday. He has not been better than Matthew Stafford. You looked at all those junk yards that he got against Atlanta. They finally won a game. Oh, he beat Dallas. And everybody else the MVP. He's FedEx Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
And look what happened to him. He went and faced the real team, and he looked bad.
And he threw for 432? 432?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. How many of those yards he threw when they were ahead? How many yards did he throw when they were down by at least, let's just say 3 points?
There are empty calories and there are what are called rally calories because there is no quarterback in the history of this game who can bring back a team any faster than that guy can. No, he was trying his tail off. 432. How many interceptions did he throw?
None.
Oh, none.
How many touchdowns did he throw?
1.
Oh! but one got through 4.
How many did he score on the ground? One more. Greatest quarterback sneaker in the history of football by far is that guy.
So one guy throws for 343 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he never trailed in the game. One guy throws for 1,000 yards, and he was never within a score. They tied it up at 7-7.
Tell me when it's my turn.
And then Matt Stafford took off on him. Matthew Stafford was the difference in this ball game.
Oh, was he really?
Yes, he was.
I saw a really different game, and now it is my turn to tell you exactly what I saw in this game, which I don't know. I'm not in the Hall of Fame. What do I know? But this is what I saw.
Okay.
To start off with, I did predict that the Buccaneers would go 20-0, and I told you I was teetering out on the very end of the limb, but I also told you they're going to be favored to win every game, all 17 in the regular season. Am I right about that?
You predicted that.
And I still believe they will be favored because they were favored to win this game yesterday. But what did I also tell you when I made that prediction? That the injury gods will ultimately decide whether they go 20-0 or not. And what happened? The injury gods this past week said, no, sorry. What did Tom Brady go to all the way to Los Angeles without? His most valuable, his most important defensive player. Who is it by far on that defense? It is Jason Pierre-Paul. And he's got a shoulder and he's got some kind of arm injury, and he could not go yesterday. And what happened? Sensational Matt Stafford. He mostly had time to drive to Detroit and back before he had to throw the football. It was like the bad old days of midseason last year where the Buccaneers could get no pressure on the quarterback. Am I right? They got one late sack by the backup defensive tackle Golston. That's all they got the whole day, and they pressured him 3 times. He's just standing back there saying, well, I could throw it to Deshaun, or I could go here and I could go there. What else happened to Tom Brady yesterday? He has one favorite target on this team, and that is his only deep threat that he has. He has one guy who is the equivalent of Deshaun Jackson. What is his name? It happens to be Antonio Brown. And what happened to Antonio? COVID protocol, could not go yesterday. And obviously their toughest test of the season, as we both said before the year. This would be it. Am I right about that? Okay, so then what happens right away? The Buccaneers are thin at cornerback already. They're down Sean Murphy-Bunting, and what happened right away? Jamel Dean got hurt, but before he got hurt, what did he do? They had Matthew Stafford, sensational Matthew Stafford, on his heels right away, just as I predicted they would, because he's not that guy.
I couldn't tell.
He's not made for this kind of stage unless you don't rush him and don't pressure him and let him finally ease in and get hot. What happened right away? What did he do in his first 6 passes? How about 1 for 6, Mr. Sensational? How about that? 1 for 6. And would you believe for the game, he had 3 passes that got tipped at the line of scrimmage that also got caught? They got caught. It's like, thank you, gods. The injury god said, we're going to make it impossible for Tampa to win, and we're going to make it very possible for Matthew Stafford to finally have one game in the sunshine in Los Angeles. 3 tip balls that all get, are you kidding me? So, and to your point, he throws the first 2 balls to Deshaun that they must have been 20 yards underthrown. Are you kidding me? Sensational. They have him right where they want him. And now could we see what my man Jamel Dean did early in the game? Could we see this play? Throw to, I believe it was to Cooper Kupp, wild high. Here we go. This is early. It's still 0-0. That's wild high. And jump up. I'm still rolling on the floor from that one. How can you not catch that? That might be the easiest dropped interception this year in the National Football League. It's 0-0, and I think he might run for a while with that ball. That's what I think.
He ain't running nowhere.
Yeah, he's running for a while, and my team is going to go ahead, and all of a sudden the pressure's going to start getting to Matthew Stafford. You've got to catch this. It's the ball game. It's still 0-0, and it's going to tilt the playing field the other direction. Now, could we see what happened a little bit later? That was at, what was that, 8:53 the first. This is 5:41, about 3